Hi students, in this video we are going to see about scalable and multi-threaded architecture and data flow and hybrid architectures in Model 4. In the last video we have seen about the examples of scalable and multi-threaded architecture with multi-processing modes. So let us see how the scalable architecture and multi-threaded architecture will vary. There are three pioneering and landmark scalable multiprocessor systems are available. So those are called as Stanford Dash combined with several latency hiding mechanisms. Square Research, that is called as KSR1, offered the first commercial attempt to produce a multiprocessor with cache-only memory. And third system is Terra Computer, evolved from HEEP/Horizon series developed by the Burke Smith. So these are the three different scalable multiprocessor systems available in industries. Let us see one by one. The first one is standard Dash multiprocessor. So Dash, in the sense, the acronym for Dash is Directory Architecture for Shared Memory. So it is abbreviated as Directory Architecture for Shared Memory. So here what is the new in this Stanford Dash multiprocessor is it is possible to build a scalable high performance machines with a single address space and coherent caches distributed memories. So what are the features available in this Dash means it is a scalable one and it has single address space with coherent caches, and the memories allocated for this memories are distributed memories, and directory based protocol is used here. So from the name itself it is directory architecture, no? So the directory based coherent scheme is implemented in this order. So this is the diagram which shows the protected node implementation in Stanford, and there are 2D dimensional, that means two-dimensional measures are assigned, and when you take the architecture it follows the Snoopy bus. So Snoopy bus, in the sense, there is a one centralized bus will be implemented in order to make the communication with a number of functional units and with the main memories. That main memory is shared memory, that is treated as a global memory. So that architecture is followed here. So that's what it is called as Snoopy bus architecture. And the routing, what is the routing here it is followed means wormhole routing. Wormhole routing with a rate of 125 megabits per link and 50 nanoseconds per hop. So this is the architecture what we followed in Stanford, and this diagram shows the detailed explanation of the left side diagram. So it has the 2x2 mesh interconnected. So 2x2 switches are connected here, and each node is having the cluster assembly. So the nodes arranged in this model are clustered together. So here what happens, for each switches there is a one input and output, and in four-dimensional ways the inputs and outputs are connected because it is a 2x2. So there are four possible way of making the connections between the node is possible here. So what is about the Dash memory hierarchy means there are four different memory hierarchy levels are followed in this architecture, and what are those means processor level, local cluster level, directory home level, and remote cluster level. See, we will see in this diagram. The first level is processor level. So processor level, what is the memory attached to that level is processor cache. The next level is local cluster level. So other processors cache within the local cluster will be assigned here. So this is called as one end. After that it will be connected and it will be making the communication with the directory home level. So in that level what are the memories are arranged means directory and main memory associated with a given address. So the directory memory and main memory is mapped here, and the last level is remote cluster level. So it is remote, from the name itself it will be get connected whenever the communication is required or needed. Fine. So the memory location could be of any three states. Coming to the states of these memories, it may be the memories levels in this architecture may be belong to any three states. What are those means? Uncached memory, shared memory, uncached state, shared state, and dirty stage. Uncached in the sense not cached by any clusters. That means that memory is not at all used by any clusters. And shared. The shared in the sense it will be used by one or more clusters. Dirty in the sense it will be modified, because in the interleaved memory and all we have studied about the dirty states. So if it is not at all used means that will be into the dirty states at the given present time. So once that page is ready for access and the memory is ready means it will be converted from dirty state to valid state. So likewise every memory in this arrangement in this prototype system has any one of the three states. So uncached state, shared state and dirty state. So these are all the about the first scalable architecture called Stanford Dash, and move on to the second scalable architecture, that is KER1, Kendall Square Research. So the name of that second architecture is Kendall Square Research. The specifications are all given here for this assembly. Interconnection bandwidth within the ring scales linearly. So here linearly the interconnection is made, and capacity of a typical crosspoint switch found in a supercomputer that connects 8 to 1600 megabits per HIPPA channels. Then KSR1 is used for two-level hierarchy, and ring 1 was therefore a massive one. So this is the diagram which shows unidirectional slotted ring. Similarly, unidirectional slotted ring about 8 to 32 nodes. So here is the one search engine is there, another one search engine is there. So these are all connected together with external routers and directory based systems. And third one is Terra Multiple System, that is TMS. This architecture is also a scalable architecture, and it provides a high-speed implementation of the systems applicable to a wide spectrum of problems and easier of compiler implementation. So these are all the features of your Terra computer systems, right? I hope you understand. Then move on to the next topic, data flow and hybrid architectures. Data flow graph for computing cos-x is given. That is, one example is given. This was developed by the authors of Arvind and Ayansi. They identified the memory latency and synchronization overhead as the two functional issues in multiprocessing. So they have only identified these problem in the multiprocessing. How it can be resolved in scalable multiprocessor means it should be addressed in efficient manner in the processor side. So using various kinds of latency hiding technologies and multiple contacts per processor, we can make that architecture is most efficient way, and also it can achieve the type of parallelism in an efficient way. And hybrid and unified architecture. So what is meant by hybrid? Hybrid is nothing but it is a combination of adding the best features from the existing one, right? So these are all the architectures combining the positive features from von Neumann and data flow architectures. So the best research has been made, like MIT is added with a RISC computer, IBM Empire and is added with the MIT Motorola company. So these are all the combination. I'll show two examples here how the data flow architecture is converted as hybrid. So here P-RISC was a RISC-fied data architecture, right? Here the processor RISC is one of the architecture. It is combined with as a RISC-fied. It allowed the tighter encoding of data flow graphs. So how it allows? It's not a lighter one. It is allowing the tighter encoding of data flow graphs, and this was achieved by splitting the complex data flow instructions into a simple one. So how it can be done means it can be done to split the complex instructions into a simpler one, and it is used to traditional instruction. Okay, so this is the one research where the hybrid architecture is followed. The second hybrid architecture is about P-RISC replaced some of the data flow synchronization with a conventional program counter based synchronization. So this P-RISC architecture is again replaced with some of the data flow synchronization techniques. And the best example is IBM Empire was the von Neumann data flow hybrid architecture under the development of IBM based on the theory of Lonsdale. Okay, so I hope you understand this concept. I'll catch you in the next video about next topic. Thank you.